Officials are the license and assigned by the International Ice Hockey Federation. The referees of the game are Martin Goffman and Tobias Severly. The linesmen of the game, Miroslav Lotsky and Alexander Omaha.
Представляем стартовый состав сборной команды Соединенных Штатов Америки. Защитники номер 5. Номер 29. Нападающий номер 11. Номер 24. И номер 72. Представляем стартовый состав крупной команды Канады. Вратарь номер 33. Защитники номер 8. Номер 44. Нападающий номер 9. Номер 63.
Welcome to the second semifinal here in Moscow on this Saturday evening. It is Canada against the United States for the second time in this tournament, but the first time ever in the semifinals at the World Championship. Morgan Riley and Team Canada sporting a 7-1 record. The loss to Finland in their last round-robin game, but they beat the Swedes 6-0 in the quarters to advance here. The United States lost its two round-robin games, the last two round-robin games, to Germany and the Slovaks, but rallied back with a huge shootout win over the Czechs. An upset in the quarters to advance here. Canada's the home team, has the last change, and we're underway here in Moscow. Conor Murphy swings back, and the bouncing puck goes to Connor McDavid, loose at the side of the goalie, tapped that wide. Lead pass goes to Brad Marchand. Picked up now by Brock Nelson. Nelson works in, shoots, and it's kicked up high by Canadian goaltender Cam Talbot.
Cam Talbot came off a really difficult loss in that 4-0 loss to Finland. There was some talk that the coaches were going to review, as we take a look at the Canadian fans in attendance, that Bill Peters was going to review his goaltender. Well, Talbot came back in the quarterfinal and was terrific. John Hines, his first crack at coaching in the World Championships, and after some stumbles and wobbles, they had a terrific afternoon in their quarterfinal to advance.
Mark Stone picks it up. Stone throws it ahead, picked off by Tyler Mott. Mark works in from a sharp angle, and a save made by Talbot. Rebound hammered wide there by Larkin. So Larkin on a line now with JT Compher and Tyler Mott.
Those two wingers play together at the University of Michigan.
Larkin's an alum of Michigan. Had some playing time at the same time as them as well.
The regular center on that line is Kyle Connor. He's been banged up throughout the tournament and really has been a loss for the U.S.
So if you missed it earlier, the Finns fell down 1-0 to the Russians in the early going. It was all Russia in the first 10 minutes of the first period, until the Finns stabilized, scored 3 times in the second period, including 2 power play goals, won it by a score of 3-1. In the first round-robin game between Canada and the United States, the U.S. scored an early power play goal. In fact, their first power play, the Americans scored. Canada hasn't allowed a power play goal since. And then Canada reeled off 5 straight goals for the 5-1 win. Taylor Hall throws out ahead. Hall had one of the Canadian goals in that game. And Brady Shea brings it across the line. Now moving in front, Foligno drops it back, and a pitch shot fired wide by Jordan Schrader.
Schrader back in the lineup, and with Larkin moving to center, he gets the spot on the right side with Foligno, and Matthews has the game's first scoring chance.
Ellis picks it up. Ryan Ellis works it ahead to Brendan Gallagher. He got tied up and knocked down the ice by Matt Hendricks, the American captain, as Cam Talbot's out to play it. Back ahead by Boone Jenner. He finds Sam Reinhart in on Jake McKay. Reinhart peels back. Reinhart drops it off for Gallagher. Loose puck behind the goal for Gallagher, a backhand shot. And that's stopped by Keith Kincaid.
Tyler Mott's going to get to the loose puck and drive in off the short side. He hits Cam Talbot right in the chin, and the puck deflects away after Brady Shea had made a terrific play to keep the puck alive. Matthews touches the puck to Foligno to Schrader. Schrader was getting a little attention on the U.S. benches. Scoring chances deflected wide of Cam Talbot.
McDavid, Duchesne, and Brad Marchand, the forward line for Canada. McDavid leading Canada with 7 assists in the tournament, has yet to score a goal.
There's been some looks of frustration from McDavid as the puck has just not gone in the net for him, despite some really good chances.
Here's McDavid on it now. Connor McDavid works it back in front. That pass poked away by Weidman. And Patrick Maroon tries to send it ahead. Maroon traded by Anaheim to Edmonton late in the NHL season. Had a huge final third of the year for the Oilers. Moved ahead by Matt Dumba trying to find Marchand. The puck rolls down the ice. And it's an icing call against Canada.
Matt Dumba had a power play goal in the quarterfinal. He missed on the pass to Brad Marchand as a little scuffle breaks out between the benches. If he hits Marchand with this pass, it's 100-foot 2-on-1 with Connor McDavid on the other side, but it goes for an icing call. Marchand couldn't get anywhere near to the puck.
So the face-off back to the Canadian end. The United States has the youngest team in this tournament, average age just over 23. Their top 2 scorers are both teenagers.
You often talk about winning the game at the right time, and the U.S. squeaked through the preliminary round with an overtime loss to Slovakia, and then knock off the #1 seeded Czech Republic in a shootout as Austin Matthews had 1 in regulation and the only goal of the shootout.
And they lost 3 of the last 5 games in the round robin. Squeaked in as the 4th seed in Group B. And then dumped the #1 seed from Group A, the Czechs. Marchand plays it back to Chris Tanev. Back to Brad Marchand. His pass gets away from Matt Duchesne and back down the ice. Fired down to the American zone. Corey Perry on it now. Perry. The puck in behind the goal. He's scooped up by Larkin. He streaks ahead. Larkin had his pocket picked by Hall. Now here's Perry with it. Corey Perry. And the swing around Conor Murphy. And here's Hall on out. Battling with Larkin. Taylor Hall. Scored 6 goals in the first 7 games in the tournament for Canada. And the loop pass goes to Mott. The Russia chant is going up here at the Ice Palace in Moscow. What a tough loss for the host team in that first semifinal match. That could have been 8-0 in the first 10 minutes.
So shots were 6-0 through 11 minutes. Russia had a half a dozen great scoring chances in the game's only goal, and then the Finns got a power play, didn't score, but kind of settled down after that. And once they got the lead, my goodness, they choked the air out of the building. Russia had 11 shots in the 3rd period, but Mikko Koskinen was excellent to finish goal.
Loose puck in the corner, scooped ahead by Weidman, and back goes Ryan Ellis to pick it up for Canada. Ellis, the late addition to the Canadian roster, was added after Nashville lost Game 7 of its 2nd round series. He played in 2 7-game series in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Matthews chips it ahead. Ryan Murray steps up, knocked down by Nick Foligno. Warsawski lead pass to Matthews. Out to play it is Talbot, who rings it around looking for Max Domi. Domi and Matt Dumba were the only 2 Canadian players who didn't have a point entering the quarterfinals. Both scored goals against Sweden. Picked up by Gallagher. He lost it. Now kept alive by Reinhart. Down for Domi. Gallagher leaves it there for Reinhart. In shoots, kicked away by Kincaid. Gallagher into the corner for Domi. And Max Domi got tied up by McCabe, who bangs it off the sideboards and out. Knocked down by Reinhart. And the puck was played with a high stick. And the faceoff will come outside the U.S. line.
Max Domi scored on a beautiful feed on the 2-on-1 against Sweden with Sam Reinhart. When Bill Peters used mostly 9 or 10 forwards in the game against Sweden until it spread out a little bit. Reinhart back in the middle. He played most of this year on the right wing in Buffalo a natural centerman. That's where he was drafted, but he's moved back into the middle with Ryan O'Reilly moving to the left side. In the last game, or rather in the quarterfinal game against the Swedes, O'Reilly moved to the left side with Scheifele and Stone.
Domi comes streaking in. McCabe took that away from him. Slides it ahead. Maroon trying to knock it out, finally does, and now Hendricks sends it in deep. Talbot leaves it there for Tanev. The Vancouver Canucks defenseman looks ahead for Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher scored in that first game against the United States as well. Hudson Fasching has it now for Team USA. Chipped out by Weidman, rink wide. Looking there for Hannafin. Well, the puck loose at the line, and Brock Nelson comes in. It's in behind McDavid. Nelson picks it out, drops it back. Fasching comes in, the long shot taken. Talbot makes the stop on Frank Vetrano. 13:53 to go in a scoreless first period at the 2016 World Hockey Championship. Ray Ferraro here on the second to last day of the 2016 World Championship. We know that Finland will play for gold tomorrow night, and that Russia will play for bronze. The question is, who will their opponents be? The United States hasn't finished as high as second in the World Championship since they won silver in 1950.
But the U.S. will play for at least a medal tomorrow.
Right, and
after winning a medal last year.
Yeah, 2 bronze medals the last 3 years for Team USA. Long shot by Murray goes wide, and Ryan Ellis steps up. Loose along the boards, picked off and moved ahead by Noah Hannafin. He finds Weidman moving ahead with Fasching and Vetrano. Weidman drops it off. Hudson Fasching, a shot that was blocked by Murray. Fasching has it back. Drops it off to Frank Vetrano. Down he goes to Weidman, centering pass, knocked away by Scheifele. Stone has it, long lead pass, he finds Ryan O'Reilly in on Hannafin. O'Reilly works in, shoots, and Kincaid makes the stop and hangs on.
Good luck from Stone as he finds O'Reilly out ahead of the pack, but Ryan O'Reilly's not going to beat Noah Hannafin up the ice, and Hannafin forces him into an angled shot that Keith Kincaid is able to make the stop on. Keith Kincaid plays for Coach John Hines in New Jersey, and when they got down to that last game, when they needed a point against Slovakia, they went with Kincaid over Mike Condon. Condon had kind of grabbed the net for a little bit of the middle portion of the tournament, and Kincaid was brilliant in the quarterfinal win, the 2-1 shootout win over the Czechs, where he stopped 31 of 32.
It wasn't like he played poorly against Canada in the opener.
No, not at all. And then they went to Condon, they won, and they went back to Condon, and all of a sudden he was the regular goaltender.
Racing call against the United States.
Cody Cece's had another good tournament. When he plays and plays well, he's so consistent. He shows a real knack for knowing when to jump up into the play, when to get himself into the rush. He got a pile of points early in the tournament.
And there is Dylan Larkin, the 19-year-old Detroit Red Wing, playing in his second World Championship already. He played the World Junior and the World Championship last year. He went to Prague, to the Czech Republic, Ray, to see if he felt he was ready to leave college, to see if he could play against men and feel he was ready to that level. The Red Wings, Ken Holland, the GM, and then Coach Mike Babcock went to watch him as well, and they all came away concluding he was ready.
He was ready, and then when he went to training camp, he left them no choice. He basically broke a 20-year Detroit model by being a teenager that made his way into the opening night lineup.
The first since Mike Sillinger in 1991. Long shoot in, Kincaid's got that. He'll hang on, and Derek Brassard was looking for the rebound.
Not much pace to this so far, is there, compared to that early game where the Russians and the Finns were flying all over the place. Of course, in the first half, all the action was in one half of the ice, but this has had a pretty choppy first 7.5 minutes.
Canada outshot the United States 33-24 in that first game. As Scheifele steps in along with Stone and O'Reilly. And Matthews will take the draw for Team USA. And Austin Matthews has erased, if there were any, doubts about his ability to succeed at the next level.
I mean, we don't get a look at Jesse Puljujarvi, the third pick in the draft, but
Stone feeds it down there for O'Reilly, loose behind the American goal. O'Reilly pivots back, lots of traffic. O'Reilly chops it back in front. Kincaid's down. Stone has it back at the point. Finds Morgan Riley, a long shot. Kincaid swats that away. O'Reilly back on it. Works it loose in the corner. Tanev steps up for Canada, plays it around to Scheifele that skipped away from him. Matthews, of course, played for Zurich in the Swiss A-League this year. As Stone comes in and shoots, Kincaid makes the stop. O'Reilly plays it around. Stone centers it, miss Scheifele. Tanev races up but has to retreat as Canada needs a change. Scheifele picks it up. In comes Scheifele across the line. Feeds across for Stone. Stone had a stick lifted in the corner by Brady Shea, and Matthews has it back for Foligno. Can't squeeze it by Ryan Ellis. Ellis waits, a long shot, looking for the stick there. Boone Jenner just missed. Now Jenner back on it. Jenner tied up by Matthews. Now Jenner has it back, drops it down to Ellis. Winds, waits, plays it down to Jenner. Couldn't get a shot away. Sam Reinhart has it back for Ellis. Ellis feeds across to Ryan Murray. A little slap pass there, trying to find Gallagher in front. Now Ellis has it back and plays it down to Jenner. Boone Jenner to Brendan Gallagher. Jenner also scored in that opening round game against the United States as Gallagher has it back. Feeds across to Reinhart. Sam Reinhart drops it down. Jenner spins and shoots. Kincaid down, rebound, score! Brendan Gallagher on the rebound, and Canada has a 1-0 lead.
Canada used about 10 forwards in their last game, the quarterfinal win against the Swedes. Brendan Gallagher scored in the first game of the tournament, then didn't get anything for the next 6 games. This is some combination of Canada's fourth line. They've been on the ice three times already in the first 9 minutes. They didn't get any of that ice time in the last game, but the Gallagher right on top of the crease takes the rebound from Boone Jenner's shot. Reinhart occupies 2 United States players in front, and Gallagher, who scores just as many goals on his belly as he does on his feet, is able to put Canada into the lead.
That is the Brendan Gallagher equivalent of an end-to-end rush.
That is about it for him. What a goal, what an effort. Second consecutive forecheck shift for Canada after the O'Reilly, Scheifele, Stone line hemmed the U.S. in, and Canada's got the lead 9 minutes in.
Now McDavid works in, drops it back to Tanev. He shoots, Kincaid save, rebound, loose in front. Duchesne can't get to it. So Gallagher has 2 goals in the tournament, both against the United States. This one gives Canada a 1-0 lead. McDavid. Pass goes off a skate, and Tanev has it back. Tanev rink wide, trying to find Marchand. And now McDavid on it. Conor McDavid with a head of steam, centers it, and Weidman broke that up. Marchand lifts the stick of Larkin, plays it down to Duchesne. Matt Duchesne trying to wrap it around. Drops it back to Mike Matheson, a long shot that was knocked down in front by Hamilton. Rebound! Marchand got a shot on goal that Kincaid had to be quick with. Now Duchesne back for it. Duchesne plays it across to Matheson. It might not have been a household name to Canadians prior to the tournament, but got up late with Florida at the end of the season, played the playoffs for them, and has been pretty good here too, Ray.
He really has. He's able to skate the puck out of danger. He's been a really good defender as well.
Now Perry winds and fires at it. Matt Hendricks in front. 9:45 to go in the opening period. Canada with a 1-0 lead. Perry had to bounce away. Gathers it back up. Had to wait there as he played with a high stick. And now Shea has it back for Team USA. Backhands it ahead, trying to find Miles Wood. He collides behind the goal with Ceci. The puck goes to Maroon. Patrick Maroon gets loose behind the goal. Has a look. Drops it down to Wood. Miles Wood, the son of longtime NHLer Randy Wood, played that back. Taylor Hall broke it up. Perry's away along with Brassard. Lead pass goes to Derek Brassard, but Canada needs to change.
U.S. had 3 of the first 4 shots of the game, Canada 9 of the next 10, and the game's first goal by Brendan Gallagher.
Warsofsky spins back. And David Warsofsky plays it ahead for Hudson Fasching, who gets a promotion in the lineup. As Murray picks it off and comes back the other way. Fasching moved up to play with Brock Nelson and Frank Petrano for this game. He had been at times the 13th forward for Team USA. And now a hand pass called with 8:42 to go in the first period.
There's Gallagher in the middle of the ice. Takes a little push from Matthews, a little shove from Hinostroza. And after starting the play, he gets right back to the front of the net. There's no hanging around below the goal line for Gallagher. This puck hits the pad of Kincaid, and off the assists of Boone Jenner and Sam Reinhart, Gallagher puts Canada on the board. And they're going with a little bit of a rotation. Here's Reinhart out again with Gallagher, but now Max Domi's on the left side instead of Jenner.
Back goes Ellis for it. Sends it back to the U.S. zone. The host Russians had the prerogative on the start time for the semifinal. They chose the early one to give them a longer turnaround for potential appearance in the gold medal game, which now won't happen. As Ellis spins and shoots, saved by Kincaid. Rebound knocked away from Reinhart by McCabe. And Jake McCabe has it back. Took a whack there from Gallagher. And Fasching has it back. Ahead for Petrano. Frank Petrano one-on-one with Ryan Ellis. In shoots, and Ellis chipped that wide. Brock Nelson spins and fires into the glove of Cam Talbot, and he'll hang on to it.
Brock Nelson was added late after the Islanders were eliminated in the second round, their first playoff win in 23 years. Nelson had a goal and an assist in the preliminary round and added a little bit of offensive depth to a really inexperienced U.S. team.
And now Matthews will step in for the faceoff against Mark Scheifele. Scheifele with 3 goals his last 4 games. As Hanifin fires, that goes off a leg and just wide. Foligno for Schrader to Matthews. Austin Matthews. Being watched there by Scheifele. Throws it back in the corner. Morgan Riley gets to it. Matthews picks it off, centers it, goes right down to Talbot. And now racing to it is McDavid. Sweeps it ahead for Scheifele. Schrader ranges back and plays it across to Weidman. Not the first time that Jordan Schrader's been down in someone's lineup and gotten the call up. Minnesota got hit with injuries late in the season. Schrader played in a crucial game against Colorado and scored in the game that basically clinched a playoff spot for Minnesota. Then wasn't dressed to start the playoffs. Came in late in the series against Dallas and scored again.
That scored in his first game when he got back into the lineup. So John Hines without Kyle Connor available and wanting a little more depth from his forwards to combat what Bill Peters has on the Canadian side, moves Larkin off the wing into the middle, and that gives Schrader a chance alongside of Foligno, who had a really slow start to the tournament but has come on, and Austin Matthews.
Larkin's had several different wingers to play with this tournament. And now Matthews gets shown out.
Started in the middle, Larkin did, then was moved to the wing. Now back to the middle.
Draw one by Broussard. And here's Perry flipping it in deep. To find Derek Broussard. And Noah Hanifin's tripped him with the puck, finds Matthews. Austin Matthews through the middle. Taylor Hall got a stick on it. Poked ahead by Ryan Murray, and the puck loose at center ice. Murray swings it ahead for Perry. In comes Corey Perry, has a look. Tried to move around Warsofsky. And now Hall on it. Taylor Hall to Broussard, back for Ellis. Ryan Ellis to Broussard. Feeds it down to Hall. Down to Perry, got tied up there by Larkin. Perry still on it, tries to work it back, and JT Compers takes it away. Broussard plays it back down to Hall. Taylor Hall feeds back to Ryan Murray. Works across the top, has a look, being shadowed there by JT Compher. Now plays it down to Ellis. Lots of traffic. Ellis feeds it across to Murray. Back to Ellis. And now a crease violation called against Canada. I think it's Derek Broussard who's getting it. And the face-off will come outside. 6:23 to go here in the first period. Canada with a 1-0 lead. here at the Ice Palace in Moscow, the home of Moscow Dynamo. There is Bill Peters behind the Canadian bench, second-year coach of the Carolina Hurricanes. He's kind of had a 3-year plan his whole career. He was the 3-year head coach of the Spokane Chiefs. They coached Rockford, the American League, for 3 years. Then was assistant coach to Mike Babcock in Detroit for 3 years. So
I assume he's hoping this game is not a 3-year plan.
yeah, like
The one in Carolina.
Yeah.
Canada won that first game and then won 5 games in a row that they were probably going to win no matter how they played, but really didn't look very sharp. And then they lost to the Finns, and there was some hand-wringing about how the team was going to respond. Well, Peters moved his lineup around with the help of his assistant coaches, Dave Cameron and Mike Yeo, and went to a shorter bench against Sweden, and then here in the first 14 minutes, he's used a longer bench with those same lines against the Americans.
Speaking of the bench, they've been a challenge for the Canadian coaches here, and for coaches who are used to standing behind the bench, it's now picked out in a backhand shot lifted wide by Schrader. Nick Foligno spins it in deep. The Canadians actually got the benches moved forward a little bit in St. Petersburg to give them some room back there, but Russian coaches generally stand in front of the bench. So that's where the room is. Or in the case of Oleg Znarok, who coaches the Russian team here, he stands on the bench.
Keeps him fit.
Stone up to O'Reilly. Conor Murphy back to pick it up. He walks by Ryan O'Reilly. Murphy steps out. Almost lost it. Now Foligno backhands it around for Matthews. In comes Austin Matthews with Foligno and Murphy. Rink wide pass to Conor Murphy. In, he fired it wide. Now Hudson Fashing on it. 5.5 to go here in the opening period. Shots are 9-5 in Canada's favor. And Matheson has the loose puck. Backhands it ahead to Cody Ceci. Streaking ahead of Ceci, who fires it down as Canada's changing. Murphy plays it around. McCabe steps in. He collides with Brad Marchand. And Brock Nelson brings it up. Almost lost it there to McDavid. Now Nelson, rink wide he goes for McCabe. And Frank Petrano back for it, being shadowed there. Backhands it down to the Canadian zone. Talbot way out to play it. Bobbled it, Fashing steals, centers it. Nelson couldn't get a good shot away. And Hannafin has it back. Almost a chance there for Team USA. Now Hannafin back with it. Noah Hannafin sends it back in front. Nelson 2 racks and Talbot to stop. Ceci plays it ahead for Domi.
Oh, what a play by Noah Hannafin. Smooth skater, gets into the play, goes around the back of the net to set up that scoring chance.
Petrano knocks it down. Gallagher tries to poke that ahead. And Hannafin swings back to pick it up, but his pass was blocked by Boone Jenner. Larkin kicks at it. Reinhart got in the way. Sam Reinhart with a shot. And that was blocked by Hannafin. Tyler Mott takes a chop at it. Ryan Ellis sealed the wall. Now fired by him. Murray goes back. And it's icing against Team USA with 4:04 to go here in the period.
Connor McDavid doesn't get the puck out of the zone, and look at Hannafin's skating ability. My goodness, he's going backwards. He spins half forward. And Brock Nelson from right at the top of the crease gets 2 chances, but Cam Talbot is in the right spot. Hannafin, who had broke into the NHL as a 19-year-old, played 18 minutes a game for Bill Peters in Carolina, the 5th pick of last year's draft. What a marvelous skater he is. And you got Hannafin, you had Sebastian Aho, who scored a couple of goals in the Finnish win earlier. Carolina's got some good young kids.
Corey Perry drops it back to Ryan Ellis, works in. Drops it back to Murray. Ryan Murray across the top, walks in and shoots. Kincaid to save with Corey Perry standing right in front of him. Hall back on it. Drops it down to Perry. You can hear Perry calling for that puck. Now bounce in the air. Larkin streaking in, and Ryan Ellis swings back to pick it up. Ellis, a 3-time member of Canada's national junior team, plays it ahead for Hall. Hall drops it off. Broussard trying to pick it off. A bouncing puck scooped up. And back comes Larkin the other way, in on Tanev. Larkin drops it across to Warsofsky. Shoots, pad save by Talbot. Now Duchesne on it. Centering pass picked off by Mark Stone. And we talked about it earlier. Stone with the steal has been a recurring phrase here at this World Championship and throughout really his pro career. O'Reilly on it. Down to Stone. In behind the goal, Mark Stone. you talk about the hands of Stone, you're seeing it a good way here. Working back is Shifley with a shot that was blocked. And it's Brady Shea, and Stone has it back. Center, Shifley in, shoots, missed it high and wide.
Those two players play so well together. It's hard to believe they don't play on the same team. They're just their ideals about where the puck needs to go. They always seem to be in the right spot, the next spot where the puck's going to go.
Stone knocked that down again. Shifley works in. He got taken off the puck. In comes Morgan Riley for it. That's Shifley, an Ontario kid who plays in Manitoba, and Stone, a Manitoba kid who plays in Ontario.
So maybe they do fit.
Warsawski walks in across the line. Warsawski backhands it towards the goal. That shot was blocked. Duchesne plays it ahead for Marchand. Brad Marchand one-on-one with Jake McCabe. Marchand works it in, drops it back, takes the return pass and scores! Oh, what a give and go between Brad Marchand and Cody Ceci to make it 2-0 Canada.
Gordon, I talked earlier about how Cody Ceci really has the knack of when to jump into the play. He sees this stretch pass hit Marchand's stick, and he's in the play. Marchand thinks it's a one-on-one as McDavid's going to leave the puck to Duchesne. Here's the pass to Marchand. Marchand thinks it's a one-on-one. Right about here, you know that Ceci's screaming for the puck. He plays give and go with Marchand. Marchand's going to drop it to Ceci. McCabe is stuck between the two, and Ceci puts it right back on the tape to Brad Marchand, who has goals in the quarterfinals, goals in the semifinals, and Canada leads 2-1.
Not a lot of daylight in that net, but Marchand finds it.
37 goals this year for Boston, a career high for Marchand. He doesn't miss from about 7 or 8 feet, and Canada's up 2-0.
Not bad for a guy who doesn't play or didn't play a lot in the power play in Boston. Brought in now by Boone. Jenner with a sharp angle shot. Kincaid makes the save up high. Schrader swings that rink wide for McCabe. Jake McCabe plays it down. McCabe was a member of the 2013 U.S. national junior team that won gold here in Russia in Ufa. They had the killer G's on that team. Gibson, Gostisbehere, and Goodrow. Not to mention Seth Jones, Jacob Trouba, and a whole bunch of others.
Well, that was quite a team.
Weidman shoots it wide, finds Foligno down behind the Canadian goal. Foligno works it free for Matthews, and Austin Matthews picks it free. Matthews slides it back to Weidman, a long shot. Tip, Talbot makes the stop. Schrader back on it. Jordan Schrader. For Matthews, drops it back. The long shot taken by Weidman, steered away by Talbot. Final minute now, the opening period. Reinhart plays it around to Ceci, tries to poke that ahead for Gallagher. And Matthews has it back. The play's onside as he swings it wide, but the puck leaves the zone. Hanifin lead pass to Weidman. In comes Weidman. Wait, shoot, tip right on. Talbot makes 2 great saves in tight. The second one on Fasching, who jumped in for the rebound. And now a penalty coming as Canada breaks it out. And it's going to be Brassard for putting the puck over the glass. Delay of game called against Canada.
Weidman shot deflects off of Ceci's stick, and Fasching just doesn't lift the puck. He shovels it right back into the pads of Cam Talbot, and then Derek Brassard turns and, under some duress, feels he's got to get rid of the puck in a hurry. He clears it over, and the U.S. power play gets their first chance.
So we mentioned earlier the United States scored on its first power play of the tournament against Canada. Canada has not allowed a power play goal since then, killing off 23 in a row. Final seconds now of the period. Tanev on it. Weidman and Matthews lead the U.S. with 2 power play goals each. Ryan Murray slaps that around. Duchesne chips at it. And the puck goes down the ice, and the United States will have power play time of 1 minute and 28 seconds to carry over into the second period. Brad Marchand and Brendan Gallagher have the goals for Canada. A 2-0 lead after the opening 20 minutes.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan, down by a couple of goals after the first period. What did you maybe get away from that you were doing well early in that period?
I thought we were getting pucks deep. More importantly, getting out of our zone pretty quickly, and we were hard on them in our zone. And I think as the period went on, we let them cycle too much, and they created a lot of chances. So they got 2 goals, and it's only 2-0. So I think we get one on the power play to start the period, and we'll be right back into it.
You probably come in with one game plan, but if you get down by 2 goals like this, do you have to adjust it much in the name of trying to generate offense and get back?
I think so. I mean, I think we have to use our speed a little bit more, and I think we got to make hard plays, and instead of just dumping it, try and use our speed to carry it in and pull up and then start our cycle. So I think maybe a little bit more we simplify our game and then get to our strengths.
Thanks, Dylan.
Yeah, thank you.
His greatest team in Montreal. They had 60 wins, 8 losses, 12 ties. They lost 8 games all year. They went 14-2 in the playoffs. But in this format, you can lose 1 game and finish 8th. Well, we finished 5th and 8th.
Хоккей – это спорт, где все относятся к своему делу по-особенному. И болельщики, и хоккеисты. Здесь каждый старается изо всех сил и выкладывается на поле. Поэтому мы поддерживаем чемпионат мира по хоккею уже много лет. И вкладываемся в тех, кто выкладывается. Райфайзенбанк. Разница в отношениях.
There's Derek Brassard as a minute and 28 seconds to serve, and a delay of game penalty as the United States will open the period on the power play, down 2-0 to Canada in the second semifinal of the 2016 World Hockey Championship. The United States has never played in a gold medal game under this format, which began in 1992.
Power plays at the start of periods are quite a challenge for the power play quite often. Oh, the puck's stuck dead in the middle of the ice here.
And Larkin brings it in, fires! And that rang off the mask of Cam Talbot in the opening seconds. So Tanev got...
there's water on the ice. Tanev is over there cleaning it off. Ooh, Talbot's giving his head a shake here. Oh, that's a quick shot. Hits him right on top of the mask. That's the second time he got it. But Canada had won the draw, was about ready to clear the puck down the ice, and Canada went to shoot it, and the puck wasn't where he thought it was going to be.
They've asked the ice crew to come out and mop up some of the standing water that's out there.
I was just saying that power plays often at the start of a period are a little difficult, guys. You're not warmed up, you're not sharp. You lose the puck, you got to chase it down. There goes 30 seconds. And the U.S. gets a little bit of a break because the puck's stuck on Tanev. And now the face-off, whenever they get the ice dried up here, will be to the left of Cam Talbot.
I think the scientific term is frozen.
What did I say?
Dried.
Dry? Oh. Is it not going to be, do you say dry ice or wet ice? You say dry ice, don't you?
Is ice dry or freeze?
Well, I hope it freezes eventually, because if not, it's really wet. It's almost water-like.
It is almost water-like. Challenges at this time of the year, though, in some European buildings to keep the ice good. This is a very new building, opened last year.
The ice last year in Prague, remember, was getting a little soupy with the game, the number of games, and I don't know. Did the ice crew go for a break?
Not sure where they're. Maybe a mandatory break, but there's a lot of evident puddles of water that have not yet frozen.
How's your Russian? Translate that.
Technical reasons, there's going to be a slight delay, so maybe not. Just give the water a couple minutes to freeze, right?
Yeah, it's all dry now. Let's get her going.
Right. Frozen and dry.
Oh, we've been here a long time.
3 weeks together, every day, all day.
Hour after hour.
Foligno drops it back. There's Wideman to drive. Talbot makes the stop, pounces on that. A late whack there from Jordan Schrader. And Talbot hangs on.
The U.S. dominated the face-off circle in the first period. There's another clean win. And Chris Wideman, who can really shoot the puck, almost squeaks this between the blocker and the arm of Cam Talbot. Talbot gets the blocker on it, jumps on the rebound, and the face-off moves to the other side.
And you've talked about Canada sometimes going for snoozes for a bit in the second period. Now Talbot got in trouble with that puck sticking on him. And Canada fires it down with a minute to go on the Brassard penalty. Chris Wideman, the St. Louis native who plays for Ottawa in the National Hockey League, brings it ahead. Wideman wraps it around. O'Reilly aligns there with Schrader. Canada does have 2 short-handed goals in this tournament. And this man, Brad Marchand, is one of them. Marchand has already scored here tonight, tied up there by Foligno. Battles for the puck in the corner. Foligno gathers it up. And there's 35 seconds to go on the Team USA power play. Foligno for Wideman. Works it in, drops it off to Schrader. He lost the puck. And Murray plays up to the line, but not out. Wideman's with open wing for Schrader. Jordan Schrader down for Larkin. Larkin gets loose and back in the point. Here's Wideman. Feeds across. Matthews in, shoots, score! Austin Matthews with a rocket, a power play goal, and the U.S. is back within 1.
Can Austin Matthews ever shoot the puck? We've seen it with the wrister more so in the tournament. This one gets moved side to side. It appeared to get deflected in front of the net, but Matthews walks into this and absolutely powders it. Kept it at the point by Wideman, a crisp pass to Matthews. gives him enough time to walk into it. Weidman head up and puts this on the tape, and we'll get a look here as Matthews has got his head up. Not sure if that hit Larkin in front of the net or went all the way through, but this is a rocket, and the U.S. has cut the lead in half.
Austin Matthews got credit for both U.S. goals in their shootout win against the Czechs in the quarterfinal. He had a goal in regulation time, then he had the shootout winner, and that counts as a goal in the IIHF statistics. The odd part of that is the Czech goaltender gets a loss, but Kincaid, the winning goaltender, doesn't get credit for a win. Matthews gets credit for the goal. Hall taken down, and now Murphy pokes it around for McCabe. So the United States scored its first power play goal against Canada. The Canadians hadn't allowed one since, but they've got one here to get back in it. Walking is McCabe with a shot. Talbot gets an arm on that. Broussard chopping at it, and Derek Broussard outlets there for Dumba. Up ahead to Corey Perry with Taylor Hall. That's knocked away neatly by McCabe for Vetrano. Frank Vetrano steps around Matheson. The U.S. is changing. Vetrano falls in the corner, and Dumba has the loose puck. Up ahead to Hall. Taylor Hall drops it back for Matt Dumba. There's another early goal in the second period that Canada has surrendered, and the U.S. is right back in this thing. Mott, rink wide for Larkin, goes off his skate. Now scooped up by Tyler Mott. A sharp angle shot. Talbot makes the stop and is able to hang on.
Jake McCabe is going to get into the slot. He makes a nice move around Taylor Hall and get a scoring chance in on Cam Talbot. This almost is by him before Talbot flicks out his left arm and just gets a piece.
Talbot allowed 4 goals on 19 shots and lost to Finland, but came back with a strong effort in the quarterfinals with a shutout on 21 shots. McDavid for the face-off, wins that one. He's 0 for 5 on draws in the first period. Stepping in is Hannafin, picks off that pass for Duchesne. Hannafin loose behind the Canadian goal, wraps it around, a backdoor pass for Maroon. And Maroon throws Ryan Ellis down into the net, and that dislodges the Canadian goal.
There's Hannafin for the second time in this game, getting down to the front of the net. Oh, I don't know how Maroon misses this. He gets around the back of the net and slides this right through, and Maroon whiffs on the puck. It's the two Oiler teammates are nose to nose, Maroon and Cam Talbot.
Maroon had some issues early in the tournament with the IIHF's crease rule, where the play is blown dead if you establish position in the crease before the puck gets there. But he's going to play within a couple of feet of the goaltender. Face-off won by Shifley. Ellis around to Murray. Ryan Murray, the Columbus Blue Jackets, ahead to Mark Shifley, busting in with O'Reilly and Stone. Stone chips it back in the corner. Warsawski picks it up. And Maroon chops it back down to the Canadian line as Ryan O'Reilly goes back to pick it up. Last year, O'Reilly was a Buffalo Sabre. He was traded after the tournament ended. Or was a Colorado Avalanche, rather, traded to Buffalo and then signed the richest contract in Buffalo Sabres history. Get a look at Austin Matthews, the 18-year-old who has extended his goal and point lead for Team USA. Now 6 goals, 9 points in 9 games. And Matthews off the face-off, picks it off. Wall sealed by Schrader. Drops it off to Matthews. McDavid in on him. Tanev swings it rink wide for Duchesne. Ahead to McDavid. In comes Conor McDavid to Brad Marchand. Drops it back. Duchesne with a shot. He hammered it wide. Marchand back on it. And the loose puck scooped up by Nick Foligno. He's away with Jordan Schrader. Matthews jumping in as well. Foligno winds in, but the play is called offside at the Canadian line.
There's the Matthews goal off of Weidman's pass. Still looks like it's deflected to me right there because the puck starts to wobble when it goes right past Ryan Murray and Dylan Larkin. But we have seen plenty of brilliance from Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine in this tournament. The two draft-eligible players that will be at the very top of the draft have been so impressive.
Weidman lifts that high in the air. And now Matheson back to pick it up. Cody Ceci up for Brendan Gallagher. That was knocked away by Nelson back down to the U.S. zone. Warsawski goes back to pick it up. Now Gallagher sweeping at it. Warsawski streaks away from him. He's got Petrano with him. Warsawski in, shoots, scores! No, hit the goal post. The goal light comes on, the spotlight's on, and the play goes back the other way. The Team USA folks are arguing that puck was in. And now Petrano comes in a long shot that Talbot knocks away.
Well, they'll get a look at it. They're looking at it right now. Seems to me that there's no way it could have gone in because it came out so quickly, but it might have hit that back bar. We'll get a look at
Sam
shortly.
Reinhart swings it rink wide. Corey Perry with a quick shot. Kincaid knocks it away. Loose in front of the American goal. McCabe's got it for Fashik. Video review is in effect here, so if the puck was in, it'll count. Remember the infamous Hanson-Carter replay.
What'd that take, about 13 minutes?
Longer than that, I think. Broussard in, shoots. Kincaid makes the stop. Gobbles up the rebound. Let's have a look and see if this is in or not.
And David Warsawski just turned around and nodded like the player often knows whether it's in or not. Warsawski's nodding his head.
That's it.
That looks like it's right in the back of the net. Vetrano was out of there with his hands in the air in a hurry. Oh, that is in. It's off the back bar and out. This is a 2-2 game. David Warsawski is going to have tied this game up. And Canada has given away a 2-0 lead in the first 4 minutes and 46 seconds of period 2.
So now, the referee, Roman Goffman of Russia, is on the headset with the video review official. And this will be a goal, and then the time will be added back on the clock when it elapsed.
This play started at the center ice area where Brendan Gallagher and Brock Nelson were leaning on the puck. Nelson got it. He gives it to Warsawski, and this game is tied 2-2. David Warsawski, who plays for John Hines in New Jersey, was picked up on waivers. Hines knew him from Pittsburgh in the minor leagues where he played there at Wilkes-Barre. And Bill Peters can only look up, get at the replay that's going again, and see Warsawski's quick shot that's just over the shoulder of Cam Talbot. And it's 2-2. What a shot. Quick release from Warsawski.
His first goal of this World Championship, and will also add 49 seconds on the clock that had elapsed. The interesting part of that whole second sequence is, Ray, if someone had taken a penalty during that time after the goal was scored, it would still count. So you don't get like a free pass to do what you want if you know the goal is in.
It's probably a good rule.
Yeah.
Well, the U.S. heavy underdogs in this game, down 2-0 after the first, have exploded out of the gate. They get the power play goal, right now credited to Austin Matthews, and then David Warsawski ties the game at 2. And we'll see if Canada can get back on their front foot because they have given this away pretty quickly.
There's that early second period thing we talked about.
Very little from Taylor Hall, very little from Connor McDavid, very little from Corey Perry or Derek Brassard.
Hall swings it ahead to Brassard. Derek Brassard winding in, loose puck for Hall. There's underneath Dylan Larkin, he's shaken up a bit as he gets up. And now Hall back on it, centers a quick chance, Perry fired it wide. McCabe might have got a piece of that. Perry back on it, turned away short side by Kincaid. Back at the point is Morgan Riley. Riley with it now. Long wrist shot deflects wide. Perry on it, gets spun around by McCabe. And Jake McCabe back with it. Riley tries to seal the wall. The bouncing puck picked up by Larkin, but fired back in by Hall. In the corner is Brassard. Derek Brassard bumping there with Murphy. At the point is Riley. Cross he goes to Dumba. Matt Dumba steps around Tyler Mott. Here's Dumba, centering pass. Bounces back to Hall. Hall looks backdoor for Perry. He was tied up by McCabe. And Scheifele on it, leaves it there for Dumba. his pass banked off the mesh and out of play.
So the U.S. gets back in the game, 2 minutes and 43 seconds apart. Austin Matthews' power play goal makes it 2-1, and David Warsofsky's quick wrist shot makes it 2-2. Canada's given up 10 goals in the tournament, 7 of them in the second period, as this has become a disturbing trend for them.
And Warsofsky, the native of Marshfield, Massachusetts, a gold medal winner for Team USA in 2010 in Saskatoon when they won that gold medal game against Canada in overtime on the golden goal by John Carlson. Now busting is Vetrano. He winds and shoots. Talbot makes the stop and hangs on.
And Nelson made a heck of a play at center ice to battle with Brendan Gallagher for the loose puck. Nelson was able to wedge it ahead, and Warsofsky jumps up from his defense position to turn it into a 2-on-1 to get the chance that he's able to take advantage of and equalize the score.
Stone throws it ahead to Scheifele. And Mark Scheifele plays that rink wide for O'Reilly, broken up by Steve Santini. And Fasching poked it back, but O'Reilly was offside as he touched up, and the play is called at the U.S. line. Bill Peters, an assistant coach for Canada at last year's World Championship. Canada put together a 10-0 record to win gold. Families arrived for both teams. Canada and the United States played in Group B in St. Petersburg. The United States had to come down on Wednesday to play their quarterfinal game against the Czechs. Canada made the train trip down yesterday. As Warsofsky lost the puck there to Duchesne. Now Wideman moves it back down to the Canadian zone as Murray goes streaking back, being watched there by Vetrano. Murray backhands it around. Picked off by Nelson. Brock Nelson loose in the corner with it now. Spins away from McDavid. Centering pass that was tipped away by Ellis. Fasching. Tied up by Ryan Ellis. And Ellis picks it free now for Canada. Ellis up ahead to Murray. Ryan Murray walks it across the line, plays it around looking for Duchesne. The pass out of his reach. And Foligno taps it back for Warsofsky. Fasching. Out to center ice, knocked back in by Murray. And Fasching looks ahead for Warsofsky. He was tied up there by Duchesne. Look out, Warsofsky had trouble. And Ryan O'Reilly almost snuck in behind him. Now Matthews, who's in, shoots, save made by Talbot, rebound. And Foligno turned away in tight. Austin Matthews with a quick chance there. Now Santini has it back and fires it back down in the Canadian zone. Ryan Murray slaps it around Morgan Riley and leaped to get out of the way. Foligno picked it free, but now Riley has it back for Canada. Morgan Riley in with Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly takes that pass, a rolling puck, couldn't center it. Knocked away by Matthews, and a race for it now as Riley goes back with Nick Foligno bearing in on him. Foligno wins the battle for the puck. Rings it around, Tanev has it. Steps away from Schrader. Scheifele's pass picked off by Wood. A long shot there, drifting high and wide. Off the stick of Hannafin. Who's behind the goal is Hendricks. Matt Hendricks to Pat Maroon. Feeds it back. Hannafin trying to find Maroon. Loose behind the goal. He centers a Talbot down. The puck is loose. And Scheifele breaks away with O'Reilly and Stone. In comes Mark Scheifele. Peels back in the corner as Canada changes. Behind the goal is Stone. Lifts it free. Centers it. Knocked down by Wood at the line. Ceci holds it for Canada. Cody Ceci swings that wide of the goal. Maroon on it. Banks that off the boards and back out to center ice.
Lord, the U.S. has won just about every puck battle in the last 6 or 7 minutes here, and Canada's got to get back to work.
Hendricks loose in the corner with it now. Shots on goal are 8-2 U.S. here in the second period. Long shot taken there by Hendricks, kicked away by Talbot. JT Compher trying to swing that across to McCabe. That pass almost picked off by Broussard, and now Murphy has it back. Across to McCabe. Lead pass intercepted by Hall. Hall works it along with Broussard. The puck squirted away from Hall. And Compher has it back. Looks ahead for Larkin. He's loose in the corner. Dylan Larkin centers and scores! Tyler Mott, the feed from Dylan Larkin. And Team USA has taken a 3-2 lead. Three unanswered goals here in the second period. And Tyler Mott has his first of this World Championship.
A Hobey Baker finalist, 32 goals in 38 games at the University of Michigan. Tyler Mott finds himself in the middle of the ice. He delays just nicely to take this feed from Dylan Larkin. Wow, what a play by Larkin. A natural centerman who played his first professional year on the wing. Larkin started this tournament in the middle of the ice, moved to the left wing, now back at center against Canada. And that's a beauty of a feed. 2 assists for Larkin, but Tyler Mott, who's had an excellent tournament, started and looked young in the first couple of games, really made his mark, I felt, on the penalty kill, where he's been just a terrific contributor. Gets his first goal in the U.S. He's got 3 in the first 8.5 minutes. And going to go on the power play.
Gallagher is going to be called here with 11:22 to go. It's an all-Michigan goal. Mott from Larkin and Comfer, the Wolverines combined, and Team USA has taken the lead 3-2 here in the second period. Goals in 7 minutes and 11 seconds to stake the United States to a 3-2 win over Canada. And now the U.S. will go to the power play as Brendan Gallagher goes off for a slash. The U.S. got a power play goal from Austin Matthews to get back in the game early in the second period. And now Matthews starts along with Larkin and Schrader as the forwards of this power play, Weidman and Nick Foligno on the back end. Will take the draw. In the corner is Morgan Riley. Brings it around and waiting for it is Boone Jenner. And Jenner flips that down to the U.S. zone. A bouncing puck. Kincaid's got to be careful with that as Ryan O'Reilly was bearing in on him.
Kincaid knew as soon as that puck flipped up in the air that it was going to be a difficult stop for him. As we look at the slashing penalty to Brendan Gallagher, he knocks the stick out of Brock Nelson's hands, but there was no way Kincaid was going to take any chances with that. Bill Peters writing some notes behind the bench, and see here as this penalty kill runs out, whatever happens in the kill, whether Peters stays with the same lineup or if he's going to start to make some adjustments, because this has been an incredibly flat second period, and the U.S. has been all over Canada. Full marks for their 3 goals.
Foligno drops it off to Larkin. Back for Weidman. Down to Foligno. Centers it for Schrader. Taps it back to Weidman. Across he goes to Matthews. Austin Matthews. A quick shot. Tipped in front by Larkin. He put it just wide. Now Foligno back on it. Larkin centers it. And that's knocked away by Riley and back down the ice as Weidman sweeps back to pick it up. Weidman lead pass for Larkin. Ahead to Matthews. Austin Matthews works in. Tied up by Duchesne. Matt Duchesne picks off a loose puck, plays it high in the air, and Canada will change penalty killer. Lead pass to Foligno. That pass goes off a skate, chopped down by Morgan Riley. He and Maroon collide, and Riley plays that to the line and just out. Warsawski spins in behind the goal. Warsawski gains center ice and fires it down. Here's Murray waiting for it. Vince Hinostroza, a rare shift here on the power play, plays it around. Not seen Hinostroza much at all in this game, and the lead pass missed Duchesne to go off on a change. 30 seconds to go on the Team USA power play. Warsawski to Hinostroza, works it across the line. Vince Hinostroza loose in the corner, tied up by Murray. And the The bouncing puck goes off the glass and out, 18 seconds to go in the power play.
This has been a pretty good kill for Canada. The U.S. had one close play in the first few seconds where they tried to hit Larkin with the deflection in front of Cam Talbot, but for the most part, not very dangerous from a U.S. side at all. The U.S. is on this is their second power play. Canada does not have one.
Face-off will be in the Canadian zone after a discussion among the officials. And it'll be O'Reilly going to take the draw against Brock Nelson. Nelson from USA Hockey Royalty. His uncle Dave Christian, a member of the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. His grandfather's great uncle played in the gold medal winning team in Squaw Valley in 1960. Now Hannafin shoots, he fired it wide. O'Reilly on the loose puck as the Gallagher penalty winds down. Ryan O'Reilly plays it down in the corner. Gallagher steps back on the ice and joins the attack. Jenner works on Nelson. Gallagher picks it off, spins and shoots. That shot deflected wide. And Hannafin plays it across to Warsofsky. At the line, Ceci can't hold it. And Cody Ceci spins back as Canada changes. Ryan Murray. Long lead pass for Taylor Hall. Bounced off his stick and ranging back was Murphy to take it away. Conor Murphy can't clear it out. Gallagher centers for McDavid with a shot. That's blocked by Hannafin. Bashing to the line and now squeezed by Dumba and out. And Matt Dumba with his stick between his legs plays the puck. Back to Connor McDavid. McDavid steps around Bashing. Lead pass for Hall. Taylor Hall with it now. Peels back and looks down to McDavid. The pass in behind him. And Hall knocks it down again. Pokes out ahead. McCabe played off the side of his own goal. McDavid picks it off. Here's Connor McDavid. Drops it back. Ryan, that was a hard shot. Gallagher standing in front, tipped that wide. Now McDavid back with it. To Ellis, who shoots again. Tipped just wide of the goal by Gallagher again. Gallagher back on it. Banks it back to Dumba. Dumba across to Ellis. Feeds it down to McDavid, trying to return past Ellis. That was broken up. And now Ellis can't hold the line. High in the air, glove down by Kincaid. 8 to go here in the second period. There's Dumba on it. Rossi goes to Matheson. Lead pass goes to Broussard along with Marchand. Derek Broussard. Centering pass broken up by Comfort. Corey Perry picks it up. Sharp angle shot blocked by Comfort. And 3 Canadians below the goal line. Perry picks it out. Puck loose at the side of the goal and JT Comfort has it back for Team USA. Lost the puck to Perry. Centers it. Broussard with a quick shot and a glove save by Keith Kincaid. 3-2, the United States leads here in the second period of the 2016 World Hockey Championship. At the Ice Palace in Moscow, the home of Dynamo Moscow of the KHL. There's Bill Peters with assistant coach Dave Cameron on the Canadian bench. They had a 2-0 lead after the first period, but the United States has scored 3 straight here in the second. Goals by Austin Matthews, David Warsofsky, and Tyler Mott, over 7 goals, 7 minutes apart.
Canada's last 3 games, the last game of the preliminary round, they gave up 3 goals in the second period to Finland. Lost 4-0. They scored 3 goals against Sweden in the quarterfinal game in the second period, won 6-0. Now they've given up 3 here in the second period, and they trailed the U.S. The second period has been a real mixed bag for the Canadians in this tournament. They not once have started solid in this period.
Now Larkin streaking in on Scheifele. They collide in the corner. And Tyler Mott picks it up, plays it back for JT Compher. The Wolverines are going back to work. Long shot by Compher, stopped by Talbot, who kicks that to the corner. Mark Stone plays it around to Matheson. And Mike Matheson, rather, the native of Point Claire, Quebec. Looks into O'Reilly, and there's an icing call as Weidman gets back. And a little whack there by Scheifele at the end of the play.
Dylan Larkin's got a couple assists for the United States. Moved back into the middle where he is such a dangerous player. In this period, he picked up an assist on this goal where he had the puck back to Weidman. Matthews powdered it into the net for the first goal, and then after it's tied 2-2, he made a beautiful play to Tyler Mott down the right wing. The pass was on the tape, and Mott made no mistake.
Picked up by Ryan O'Reilly, 2-on-1 with Mark Scheifele. O'Reilly in, Wade shoots, he hammered it wide, and O'Reilly goes cartwheeling into the end boards, and he collided there with Santini. Loose behind the goal is O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly shovels it back in front, but the pass was blocked by Austin Matthews. Tanev to O'Reilly. Matthews took that away. Scheifele comes in. And Jordan Schrader played the puck with a high stick, and it's called in the U.S. zone.
Mark Stone makes a nice play on the boards. Hannafin gets trapped, and it's a 2-on-1. But with Matthews coming back and the angle defensively that Santini took, there's not much room here for a pass. So O'Reilly, who was pretty focused on the shot, takes it, and he rifles it wide on the stick side.
Now Duchesne for the face-off. Out there along with McDavid and Marchand. Brock Nelson will take it for Team USA. Duchesne wins it cleanly back to Riley. Morgan Riley spins around Fashing, and Kincaid knocked down. Play call as the U.S. net runner was down. Brad Marchand and Jake McCabe had collided.
McCabe and Marchand end up in the goal crease, and the discussion now is where the face-off should be, and the official having a word with McCabe trying to explain his position. It looks like the draw is going to stay inside the zone.
It'll be Duchesne again for the draw against Nelson. And that time Nelson wins the draw. Back to Murphy up the center ice. Morgan Riley knocks it down, plays it ahead for Marchand. Brad Marchand in on Jake McCabe. Spins back, Nelson stepped into him. And lifted out by Nelson, but there's an icing call against Team USA. The shift is getting long for the American players.
Canada will stay with the same forward group. They've changed the defense. You see McDavid without a goal in this tournament. Really struggled to create much here tonight.
Duchesne wins the faceoff back to Ryan Ellis. Rings it around. Racing to it now is Ryan Murray. Drops it back. McDavid a shot. It deflected wide off the stick of Nelson. Now Duchesne back with it. To Marchand. Brad Marchand. Works it out of the corner. A rolling puck. Brad Marchand still on it. Feeds it across. Ryan Murray works in. Centering pass. And McDavid couldn't get him to sit for him. Ellis has it back to Marchand. A long shot. And that's tipped high by Duchesne. McDavid on it for Duchesne. Picks it free. Matt Duchesne. Spins away from McCabe. Throws that back in the corner. Ryan Ellis steps up. Ellis with Marchand backing him up. Throws it down to McDavid. Drops it down to Ellis. Quick shot. Marchand had to go off his skate. And Nelson has the loose puck. These American players need a change. Glove down by Ellis. And McDavid picked up the loose puck.
Jake McCabe saved the goal there as McDavid is going to get pulled down inside the blue line. Miles Wood is going to go for a penalty. The first power play for Canada, but McDavid is going across the goal mouth to Brad Marchand. He's open, but Jake McCabe reaches out and pokes it away. It's actually Vetrano who sticks the left leg out and trips up McDavid. So Canada's power play, which has 9 power play goals in the tournament from 9 different players, gets their first chance. There's the play. It's actually Ellis going across, deflected by Duchesne, and McCabe's going to cue it out of the way before Marchand can get to it. 9 different power play scorers.
Face off, one back to Derek Brassard, who feeds it across to Ellis. Ellis to Brassard with Perry standing in front. Brassard shoots, and Kincaid makes the save through the screen of Corey Perry.
Derek Brassard has got 10 points in the tournament. He's been quite a clutch playoff performer for the Rangers, and an excellent passer, really good on the power play. And Canada obviously looking to match the US's power play goal earlier in this period to try and get this game back to even.
Broussard tied for the Canadian point lead with Mark Stone. O'Reilly, Broussard, Perry up front, Duchesne, and Ellis on the back end of the Canadian power play. Hendricks will take the draw for Team USA. The scramble draw, poke free. Racing to it is Shea, and a stick knocked away by Perry. Play continues as Perry drops it down to O'Reilly. A centering pass for Broussard. He shoots. That was deflected wide by Hannafin. O'Reilly back on it to Broussard. Feeds it back to Ellis. It skips off his stick on the line and kept alive by Ellis. Duchesne works it back to Ellis. Across he goes to Broussard. Down to the goal line. Perry pulls it back. On the backhand shot. Kincaid gets the pad down. Perry poking away. And the puck stays outside the goalpost. Perry can't believe he missed.
And that scoring chance is made possible by this play by Ryan Ellis. He gets to the puck just in time to keep it alive, and then he plays it just in time to keep it alive. Perry makes the spin move, and he's got Kincaid moving to his left, yet Kincaid sprawls back, and Perry can't find the open side. Well, those were two really close plays with Ryan Ellis within about a second and a half.
Minute 24 to go here in the Canadian power play. 4:44 to go in the second. O'Reilly wins the draw to Broussard. Back for Ellis. Cross he goes to Duchesne. Once again, Perry parked right on top of the crease. Duchesne works around Comfort. In, shoots it, and Perry up high. Rebound, loose in front. Broussard scores! Derek Broussard, power play goal, and the game is tied at 3.
That's Broussard's second power play goal of the tournament. Canada gets a break as the initial shot by Duchesne is going to hit Corey Perry in the chest. Right here, the puck is going to bounce around. O'Reilly kept it alive. Kincaid makes the save, and the rebound goes right to Derek Broussard. See Perry react, and oh, the puck is knocked out of the air by O'Reilly almost inadvertently. And Derek Broussard has a wide open yawning cage. And it's 3-3.
Broussard, the native of Gatineau, Quebec, had a career year with the New York Rangers. He cracked the 20-goal mark for the first time and scored 27 times for New York. As you mentioned before, Ray, a clutch playoff performer for them as well. 18 goals in 59 playoff games as a New York Ranger. He was acquired by the Rangers from Columbus. At the lead pass goes to Gallagher. In on Warsofsky, and that's poked away as Marchand picks it up.
Good play by Warsofsky not to take a penalty, to get back on Gallagher to break up that potential breakaway pass.
Broussard, his first game as a Ranger at 5 points.
How's your first impression?
Good deal. Wideman plays it around, racing to it as Marchand, forces it free. And Larkin spins back. So back and forth they go. Chipped ahead by Mott. Now brought ahead by Larkin. Dylan Larkin. Works it back at the point. Hannafin, a long shot that was blocked in front by McDavid. He's away. Canada's changing. McDavid tries to bring it out. Austin Matthews took it away. Deep Santini. Chris pass ahead to Matthews. And back goes Murray for the loose puck. Morgan Riley looks ahead for Stone. A race for it now. Max Domi comes streaking in. Negates the icing as he gets in. Puck poked free for Foligno. Nick Foligno lost it for a moment as the plant back for Santini. At center ice, here's Scheifele with it. Mark Scheifele. Lifts it high in the air and down in the U.S. zone. First on it is Domi for Canada. Max Domi throws it back for Scheifele. Picked off by Matthews. Foligno tries to chip that in behind Ceci, and Ray, we're still looking to find out what Austin Matthews doesn't do well.
That was a terrific defensive play.
Now they're going to tie it up there with Foligno. Stone picks off the loose puck. Stone tied up there by Foligno. And the puck comes up to center ice. 2.5 to go here in the second period in a 3-3 tie. Stone looks ahead for Domi. That's a pass that misfires. A icing call against Canada.
And so the U.S. will get a fresh set of legs on the ice. There's the shot by Duchesne. It hits Perry. O'Reilly knocks it out of the air and into Derek Broussard's hands. This is Broussard from Duchesne and O'Reilly. I think they may end up changing that to Corey Perry's assist as he blocked the shot with his chest and fell right to O'Reilly.
Or they won't change it.
Or they won't, or they'll take a year to do it. It's more of a process in the international
Once
game.
they chisel the scoring play into the granite, they don't like to change it. Oh, look out, Stone taking it hard there by Murphy, and there's a penalty coming to Team USA. And now a scrum breaks out right in front of the American bench. Mark Stone is shaken up and now down at the blue line. And holding his left shoulder and livid as he makes his way to the Canadian bench. Jerry Townend is the athletic therapist for Team Canada, also works with Stone in Ottawa with the Senators, and Stone is in some discomfort.
There's Stone and Murphy rushing for position. Oh, he hits him right on the back of the shoulder. We'll get a better look at it here. The contact is going to be right on the 6, or to the left of the 6 of Stone, and that propels him right into the boards. Stone still holding his left arm to his body as he goes to the dressing room with Jerry Townend.
He's going down the tunnel with 2:17 to go. Penalty not yet posted to Conor Murphy. The officials are talking it over. The explanation being made to Corey Perry and Nick Foligno. Bunch of options here. It can be checking from behind. Checking from behind and checking to the head both are 2-minute minors that carry 10-minute misconduct. It can also be a major penalty. Now,
Brian Burke has for years talked about this bear hug play. And
right.
That's an area to me where if that is available, where Murphy would be able to wrap up Stone and take him into the boards, then you don't have the collision that propels him forward into the boards.
All right, so it's 2 and 10. It's hitting from behind. So Murphy's going to be out for 2 or less, and then 10 for misconduct.
So the most experienced defenseman in the National Hockey League is Conor Murphy. 181 games played. He's going to sit for, as you mentioned, the minor penalty plus the misconduct. That's a big loss for the U.S. He's in his 3rd straight World Championship. He plays a lot of heavy minutes for John Hines and the Americans.
So Canada now to the power play as O'Reilly is up with Duchesne and Perry. Brassard back on the point along with Ellis. And the face-off won by Brassard and back down the ice. Ryan Ellis swings back to pick it up. Canada's all-time assist leader at the World Junior level. Ellis drops it off to Duchesne, and Matt Duchesne feeds ahead for Perry, chips that down to the American zone. McCabe and Perry collide in the corner. Jake McCabe spins and banks it off the boards. Ellis able to hold the line again.
Wow, he's done that 3 times in this period.
Duchesne back for Ellis. Across he goes to Brassard. Feeds Ellis back at the point, winds it across. Duchesne with a drive. That was partly blocked by Hannafin. Duchesne back with it. Off the shin pad, O'Reilly centers it. Here's a chance for Brassard. Could not get the puck to sit for him. Now Ellis has it across for Duchesne. Matt Duchesne being watched there by Hudson Fashik. Now spins it back in front. O'Reilly with a tip right on. Kincaid makes the save, and now moved out by Fashik and down the ice. Canada changing as Brassard swings back to pick it up. McDavid comes on with Scheifele and Taylor Hall. Lead pass for Hall, busting it alone. Taylor Hall on the breakaway, stopped by Kincaid in tight. The lead pass sprung Hall, and Kincaid got a piece of it to knock it up and out of play.
Brassard's got his head up. The last player off the bench here is Taylor Hall. The Americans don't see him. Warsofsky's looking up the ice, and Hall's in clean. Keith Kincaid holds his ground and makes the blocker save. This is earlier. Corey Perry tries to slap this out of the air. He doesn't get it, and now Brassard can't get it before it spins out of the scoring area.
McDavid will face off against JT Compher. McDavid, Hall, and Shifley the forwards. Ceci trying to poke that back, picked off by Brady Shea and sent back to center ice. 45 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. Dumba to Hall. Under a minute to go now in the second period. Taylor Hall drops it off for Connor McDavid. In comes McDavid with it. Winds in, drops it back for Cody Ceci. Sets it up to McDavid. McDavid spins back in the corner. Hall standing in front. McDavid's shot was blocked by Warsofsky. Can't clear. The Shifley got in the way. Back at the point is Ceci. Feeds across. Dumba with the shot. His stick blew up on him. Hall's got the puck back. Dumba quickly gets a stick. And Shifley picks it up. Mark Shifley works in. Shoots short side. Kincaid makes a step. Rebound. Hall put it wide. Here's McDavid back on it. Final seconds now. The power play. Dumba with it. With a fresh stick. Dumba feeds it across to McDavid. In. Shoots. That was blocked by Warsofsky. Maroon back on the ice after serving the penalty. McDavid loose behind the American goal. 10 seconds to go in the period. Hall works in. Plays it for Shifley with a quick shot. That's blocked. And the puck lifted up by JT Compher. And a wild second period comes to an end. 3-3 now the score between Canada and the United States. A period to play and maybe more in this semifinal at the 2016 World Hockey Championship.
Evident after you scored that goal in your celebration. What was it like during that second period on the bench with them having come back that way?
Yeah, it was tough. I got caught in the first period with that penalty, and everything was going well for us. And I thought our power play was a big goal for us, and hopefully we can come out in the third and play confident.
Second periods have been a bit of an issue for you guys. Most of the goals you've given up have been in that middle frame. What is it about that middle 20 minutes?
In every game we played, our first period was our best period, and maybe we gassed out right away. And they had a power play right off the bat there. They scored some nice goals, but we have to respect them. They have a good team. They have a lot of young players that work hard, and we're gonna have to play our best.
What do you think you'll focus on or have to focus on in this third?
We have to stay out of the box, obviously. Now we just had a power play, so we just have to play our game, and we have to make them defend. And if we do that, we're gonna have a better chance to win.
Thanks, Derek.
All right, thank you.
Good, Dave. Just the singles, fine, buddy.
Yeah,
say when. Good to go?
Yeah.
Derek, the relief was pretty evident after you scored that goal in your celebration. What was it like during that second period on the bench with them having come back that way?
Yeah, it was tough. I got caught in the first period with that penalty, and everything was going well for us. And I thought our power play was a big goal for us, and hopefully we can come out in the third and play confident.
Second periods have been a bit of an issue for you guys. Most of the goals you've given up have been in that middle frame. What is it about that middle 20 minutes?
In every game we played, our first period was our best period, and maybe we gassed out right away. And they had a power play right off the bat there. They scored some nice goals, but we have to respect them. They have a good team. They have a lot of young players that work hard, and we're gonna have to play our best.
What do you think you'll focus on or have to focus on in this third?
We have to stay out of the box, obviously. Now we just had a power play, so we just have to play our game, and we have to make them defend. And if we do that, we're gonna have a better chance to win.
Thanks, Derek.
All right, thank you.
so it's on to the third period in the second semifinal game of the 2016 World Hockey Championship. Teams will start the third period 5-on-5. Conor Murphy, the defenseman for Team USA, will serve nearly 10 minutes of a misconduct here. He'll miss the first half of the third period.
And that is a big loss for the U.S. He plays a lot of the matchup minutes. Their most experienced NHL defenseman. He's experienced at the international game. They'll have to make do without Murphy.
So Canada this year gunning for back-to-back gold medals. The United States won gold in 1933, but has never qualified for a gold medal game at the World Championship since that format began in 1992. 3-3 the score, and Mark Stone is back on the Canadian bench after being shaken up late in the second period. Chris Weidman plays it down to the Canadian zone as Murray goes back for it. The puck loose behind the goal. Frank Vetrano trying to kick that free for Team USA. Murray gives him a whack. Vetrano kicks it back in front, and Talbot swats that away. Vetrano back on it. Feeds it back to Brock Nelson. Lots of traffic. Nelson shoots. That was blocked by Derek Brassard, and Brassard is shaken up as the Ryan Ellis clearing attempt goes into the Canadian bench.
Taylor Hall has 6 goals in the tournament. We get a look at Mark Stone back on the Canadian bench. And been such a valuable player for Canada. Fortunately, all right after the hit by Conor Murphy.
Face off in the Canadian zone. JT Compher against Ryan O'Reilly, and O'Reilly gets shown out, so Matt Duchene will have to take it. Natural centerman anyway. Scramble drawn. Murray picks it free for Ellis. Lead pass finds Marchand. Brad Marchand works in on Noah Hannafin. And Santini plays it around the bouncing puck. Goes down to Marchand. Brad Marchand feeds it back at the point for Murray. Ryan Murray, a long shot, finds Connor McDavid trying to wheel that back in front. McDavid back with it, taken down by Hannafin. And McDavid drops it back to Murray to Ellis. Ellis banks it around. Hannafin tried to chip it. That was knocked down by McDavid for Duchene. Duchene crisscrossing with McDavid. Pass broken up by Hannafin. McDavid reaching for it. And Ellis has it back for Canada. McDavid trying to throw that back at the point. Kept the line by Marchand for a moment and again. And Duchene picks up the loose puck. Matt Duchene shields off Hannafin, works it back in front. And Hannafin finally reached back and took it away. At the point is Ellis. Holds the line yet again, banks it off the end boards, but it bounced away. Ryan Ellis had one of the most famous holds in Canadian history at the 09 World Junior Championship that led to the Jordan Eberle goal against the Russians. Now Ellis shoots, scores! Ryan Ellis, a rocket short side on Keith Kincaid, and Canada leads 4-3.
What a bomb by Ellis. Every year, Ryan Ellis's points have increased in the NHL from 15 to 24 to 27. This year, 35. Ellis has played the last 2 games after being added. Gord, you mentioned he'd played 14 playoff games prior. Top of the circle, bullseye. Canada leads 4-3 on Ryan Ellis's first goal of the tournament. And he beats Keith Kincaid up top.
Oh, so he's good at keeping the puck in and that.
That's pretty good too.
Career high 10 goals for him this year with Nashville. He and Matthias Ekholm, who played for the Swedes in the tournament, make a dynamite D combo for Nashville. They've mixed him around a little bit, but he's been tremendous.
Canada was changing on the play, and as their forwards went to the bench, McDavid tapped it back to Ryan Murray, but the key is that Ellis got going, and Murray made a heady pass to clear the zone, move through the neutral zone so Ellis could walk into that shot.
Now O'Reilly centers it, Kincaid juggles it, Scheifele bumps into him.
That's going to be a penalty to Scheifele.
That's going to be goaltender interference on Mark Scheifele, and the U.S. is going to get an early power play here in the third period.
There's Scheifele runs chest to chest into Kincaid, and the U.S. will get their 3rd power play. They have a power play goal by Austin Matthews in the 2nd period.
So Matthews comes out for the power play along with Schrader and Larkin up front. Weidman at the back end with Foligno. And Duchesne will take the draw for Canada. There's a issue in the goal for Cam Talbot. Again, the ice in the early part of the period is a bit of a problem. (4-3) Canada with the lead, but now Team USA on the power play. The only power play goals Canada has allowed in the tournament have been to the United States. Here's Weidman off the face-off win. The puck moved out by Marchand. Jordan Schrader back to pick it up. Feeds across to Nick Foligno. And Foligno drops it off to Weidman. 2 years ago, he was the American Hockey League's Defenseman of the Year, scored 19 goals for the Binghamton Senators as a defenseman. Schrader drops it down to Matthews. To the point to Weidman. Shoots, kicked out by Talbot. There a lot of traffic there. And now Matthews rings it around for Foligno. Nick Foligno tied up there by Duchesne. Poke back at the line. Weidman keeps it alive. Off a skate. Larkin, and Riley plays it right down the ice.
Matt Duchesne's had a really effective game. He's done a good job here in the start of this penalty kill, but an assist in the second period. He's been really active with the puck in the latter part of the second period.
Brock Nelson chips it down to the Canadian zone. Ryan O'Reilly goes back and plays it around, but Patrick Maroon intercepts, centers it, and that pass missed. Vince Hinostroza. Hinostroza has basically only played on the power play in this game for the U.S. About 2 minutes of ice time entering this period.
That is a really difficult role to try and be effective at. Your legs aren't there, your hands aren't there, you're not warm. Oh yeah, go on the ice on the power play and make a couple of really good plays.
Hinostroza knocks it down though. Finds Maroon for Hinostroza. They play pitch and catch, and Maroon gets loose behind the Canadian goal. Banks it around for Warsofsky. Warsofsky tees it up and shoots it at Cody Ceci in the hand. And Ceci is shaken up. Maroon back on it. Hinostroza back at the point for Warsofsky. Feeds it across. Nelson shoots. That's blocked by Ryan Murray trying to chop it free. Vetrano knocked it down. He and Jenner collide. Vetrano picks the puck free. Walks in, waits, and shoots. That's blocked by Murray. And the puck bounces down to the corner. Cody Ceci still laboring, but remains out there. Here's Vetrano. Winds it across to Warsofsky. In, centers it. That pass disrupted. And the penalty's over. Shifley steps back on. Murray sends it down the ice, and Shifley races down on Brock Nelson. Shifley forces it free.
What a terrific penalty kill for Ryan Murray. Couple of blocks for the Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman.
Moved ahead by Miles Wood, tied up there by Dumba. One shot on goal for the U.S. on that power play. Now Hannafin works in, fires. That's blocked by Mike Matheson. Now the centering pass. Talbot knocked that away. Loose puck, they battle away for it. Another shot on goal. Hannafin threw that towards the net. And Wood couldn't cash. Here's Fashing on it. Hudson Fashing with Wood in the crease. The violation is called. The face-off will come outside.
Well, he and Matt Dumba were all tied up in front of the net. This is a crazy sequence. Hendrick's shot just misses. Wood misses the pass. He's right on the doorstep, and this is where he and Dumba are going to get tied up. Wood misses the net, and now they're tied up. Dumba's got him wrapped up. They end up in the crease, and the face-off comes outside the blue line. Close. Really good pressure from the U.S. at the end of that power play.
McDavid out there with Domi and Gallagher, the forward line for Canada. And Domi gets free behind the American goal. McDavid fell. He and Santini collide. Their sticks are tangled up, and McDavid picks out the loose puck. Feeds it back to Riley. A long shot that goes wide as Domi was looking for the tip. Tanev steps up for Domi. McDavid loose in the corner now. Got tied up by Santini. 5 gone here in the third period. McDavid centers. Gallagher tees it up and shoots. Tip wide there by Domi. Domi back on it. Tanev. Rolls it back behind the goal. Hannafin steps away from Gallagher. His pass hit a skate. Hendricks on it now. And Tanev sealed the wall. Wood trying to knock it out. And now it's picked up and played ahead by Santini. Tanev for Riley. And back goes Tanev for it. Lead pass goes to Broussard, picked off by Hendricks, and Ellis is back to pick it up. for Tanev. Lead pass for Perry was knocked down. Ellis has it back. And Ryan Ellis moves ahead. Plays off Tyler Mott. Hall on it. Collides there with McCabe. Brady Shane picks it up. Now banked out by Mott. Bouncing puck at center ice. Broussard ahead to Hall. Taylor Hall works in, shoots. Kincaid fights it off. The puck bounces right back in front. And Shea picks it up. Rink wide pass goes to Mott. He's got Comfer with him. Mott a long shot, glove by Talbot, and he'll hang on. Ryan Ellis the goal, Canada the lead here in the third period of the semifinals of the World Hockey Championship. Bill Peters looks on as Canada tries to get to the gold medal game for the second consecutive year of the World Championship. Canada has won gold in 4 of the last 13 World Championships, back-to-back in 03 and 04, in 07 here in Russia, and then last year. Interesting that Canada won the gold in Moscow in 2007, and the Russians returned the favor in Canada in Halifax, or in Quebec City rather, in 2008. That tournament split between Halifax and Quebec City. The Russians knocked out earlier today on home ice. Ryan O'Reilly brings it out. 3-on-2 Canada. Mark Stone in his first shift of the period plays it ahead for O'Reilly. Drop pass for Stone. Ryan O'Reilly plays it around to Stone. Gets loose behind the goal. Stone backhands it back in front. Knocked away by Austin Matthews. O'Reilly has it back, but that's picked off by Matthews. And Matthews wrists that down in the Canadian zone. Nick Foligno on it. Plays it around to Jordan Schrader. Matthews reaching for it. And Tanev stepped into him. Back goes Hannafin. Can he ever fly?
Look at this. There's no chance Scheifele's going to catch him here.
Hannafin barrels in across the line. Just skated about 300 feet. And now Foligno picks it up.
Couldn't be much smoother either, could it?
Hannafin goes down to Matthews. The puck skipped away from him. Racing up is Santini. Down to Matthews. Skipped over his stick. Puck loose in the corner. Hannafin steps up. Plays it behind the goal to Matthews. Shields off Scheifele. And Murray plays that to an open corner. Santini steps up for the U.S. Shoots. That's blocked by Murray. Who's behind the goal is Jordan Schrader. Collides there with Scheifele. Plays it back for Hannafin. And Foligno looks down to Matthews. Matthews trying to center it. Knocked down by Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher's away as he works on Matthews. Gallagher gets free. He's got Murray with him. Gallagher in. Shovels it across, and Murray missed on that. Now brought back by Matthews the other way. His pass broken up by Reinhart. He collides with Gallagher, and Santini picks up the loose puck. Both teams changing now with 12:15 to go in the third period. Winner plays Finland for gold tomorrow night. The loser plays the Russians for bronze in the afternoon. Lead pass finds Fashik. Now Vetrano steps in, shoots as the play was called offside. And the face-off will come outside.
Ryan Murray's going to jump up and get into the play. Watch this play by Gallagher. He kicks it through his own feet. Now it's a 2-on-1. This puck goes right underneath Ryan Murray's stick. Gallagher goes to the backhand, and it hits the heel of Murray's stick. Murray's had a really strong third period. He's had a strong tournament. He moves the puck really efficiently. A quiet player, not a big points guy. Had 25 points this year. He's got 5 assists in the tournament, including finding Ryan Ellis for the assist on the go-ahead goal.
The key number for Ryan Murray, 82. He has 82 games played this year after being ravaged by injuries early in his career. That shoot-in went off the board, took a funny bounce. And now Nelson plays it back to McCabe. A long shot. Talbot makes the stop. Picked up by Pashik. Wraparound try. Talbot down. Hangs on. A battle for the puck. And Cam Talbot has it as Matt Dumba buried Hudson Fasching beside the Canadian goal.
McCabe's shot is going to get to the backboards, and Fasching gets around the backside. Man, that's quick. He wraps it. Talbot with the stop twice. As Hudson Fasching gets to that far post, really good read by Talbot, knowing where the puck is, and he slides right to left to make the save.
Face off, won by O'Reilly. Tanev looks ahead, the pass out of the reach of Marchand. Icing call against Canada, 11.5 to go here in the third period. Ryan Ellis added late from Nashville. With the goal to take Canada in the lead.
You see the change, both teams changing, and McDavid had found Ryan Murray with the pass. Murray goes across the ice to Ryan Ellis, and that's the difference in the game. Canada a 2-0 lead after one. The U.S. with 3 goals in 7 minutes and 11 seconds in the second period. The late power play goal by Brassard tied it up. And then Ryan Ellis early in the third, about a minute and a half in, gave Canada its current 4-3 lead.
Swatted up by Tanev as Wideman picks it back up. And Morgan Riley picks up the loose puck. Riley flushed out by Vetrano, plays it ahead for Marchand. Trying to step around Wideman. McDavid comes in to help. That puck is brought in offside by Morgan Riley. Riley leading Canada in minutes played at 19:37. In the IIHF format, you're allowed 20 skaters, not the 18 in the NHL. So with 13 forwards and 7 defensemen dressed, you don't often see 25-minute defensemen in these games.
No, guys that are accustomed to playing much more in the National Hockey League. They've got an extra guy that might be a penalty killer. You lose a couple of minutes there, or a couple of guys that spread out on the power play, and 20 minutes is a pretty big night in international game.
Now Duchesne throws that rink wide. Wideman knocks it down. Marchand has a look. Brad Marchand skated by the puck. He collides there with Wideman. And the scrum ensues in the corner. William was it by McDavid. The glove down by Riley. Back behind the goal to Marchand. Brad Marchand centers it. The pass knocked away by Warsawski. Now Tanev winds and shoots. It goes wide out the other side. McDavid can't reach it. Poke back to Riley. To Tanev. Tanev across to Marchand. A one-time shot. He fired it wide. Here's Riley back on it. Holds the line. Brings it towards the goal that was chopped down by Austin Matthews. Now centered by Marchand for Duchesne. Brad Marchand feeds it back for Riley. Morgan Riley back to Chris Tanev. His stick broke, and now a chance for Team USA as Foligno brings it in. Chris Tanev with no stick defending. Jordan Schrader in, shoots, and Talbot gets an arm on that to knock it away. Foligno being bumped there by Tanev, still doesn't have a stick. Now the centering pass knocked away by Tanev, who dives and blocks that shot. Duchesne pokes it to the line and not out. Canadians hollering that did come out. Foligno tied up by McDavid. Matthews back on it. Off the bench comes Brady Shea, shoots, he hammered it wide. Schrader back on it. Tanev now has a forward stick. And the long shot knocked away by Talbot off the stick of Schrader. And Stone banks it off the boards back down to the U.S. zone. An icing called against Canada.
Not only did Tanev have a left-handed stick, it was Brad Marchand's stick, which is about half the size of his. There's his stick that breaks in half. Now he's stuck. Can't get into the play, but he's going to make a really nice play to deflect the puck away on a pass. Earlier, Jordan Schrader's shot deflected off the arm of Talbot. Schrader's bid for the tying goal turned aside.
First round pick of the Vancouver Canucks moved on to the Minnesota Wild. This year he was sent down or called up 11 times by the Minnesota Wild. About a 3-hour drive from St. Paul, Minnesota to Des Moines, Iowa. He knows every bump in the road. Shea has that pass picked off by Murray. Away comes Murray, flips it down to the U.S. zone as Scheifele goes looking for it. There's J.T. Comfort. Out to center ice. Ryan Ellis knocks it down and chips it ahead neatly for Stone. And Mark Stone fires it back down to the U.S. end. 9.5 to go here in the third period. J.T. Comfort. Out to center ice for Tyler Mott. And Ellis breaks that up. And the play called offside at the Canadian line.
Period starting to get chopped up a little bit here as Canada trying to defend. The U.S. looking for a way to generate a scoring chance or two. John Hines thinking about what his next move will be.
Hines, lots of international experience, 6 years as the head coach with the U.S. National Team Development Program. They have an under-18 and under-17 program. They alternate years. So Hines has lots of experience with the IIHF under-18 tournament.
Canada with just one shot since Ellis's goal.
Talbot out to play it, leaves it there for Murray. Feeds it across neatly for Hall. Taylor Hall busting in through the middle. Derek Brassard chips it ahead. McCabe knocks it down. A long lead pass looking for Larkin. Steps in front of Murray. Dylan Larkin waiting for help. Throws that towards the goal glove there by Talbot. He'll hang on with Mott standing right beside him.
Canada's going to have to be careful of Dylan Larkin. Larkin will fly the zone, get behind the defenders for a long pass. They almost connect on one there.
Look at this beautiful rink here. The southeast of Moscow, just about 20-minute drive south of Red Square, depending on the time of day. Oh, let's be fair about that.
What time of day is it 20 minutes? Took Darren Drager 2 hours yesterday. Friday afternoon traffic was not exactly flowing along.
Taylor Hall fires it in.
20 minutes, you work for the tourism board.
There's Corey Perry in the corner with Derek Brassard. Ceci for Brassard. Spins back, plays it there for Ceci, who just holds it on the line, throws it towards the goal, picked off by Matt Hendricks. Pokes it ahead for Maroon. And Maroon fires that wide of the goal. Patrick Maroon looking down there for Hendricks. Now Maroon back on it, spins and shoots. He put it wide. At the point, Weidman has time as he holds it. Shoots, and Maroon was looking for the tip, just missed it. Laid back in by Warsofsky. Knocked free by Wood. Miles Wood had his pocket picked there by Ceci, who looks ahead for Hall. Hall picks up a loose puck. He's got Corey Perry with him. Hall in across the line. Taylor Hall drops it off for Derek Brassard. That pass knocked down. Hall was spilled. Throws it back for Perry. Canada changing here as Sam Reinhart comes on. Perry flips it around. Ellis waiting for it at the line. Plays it back in the corner for Reinhart. And Ellis kicked it free for a moment. Scooped up by Maroon. A bit of a long shift. He plays it across for Brady Shea. Wood goes off as the puck was right behind him. And Maroon plays it back for Hannafin. And that pass tipped there by Shea, who banks it off the boards. And Fasching plays it back for Hannafin. Noah Hannafin swings it rink wide for Brock Nelson. Busting in is Fasching. Now Vetrano with a chance, shoots! Swung away by Talbot. Vetrano back with it for Fasching. Plays it back, Vetrano shoots. Didn't get all of it. Another chance in front. McCabe turned away, Talbot's down. Here's Nelson with it, plays it back the other side. That's knocked away by Reinhart.
Jake McCabe robbed from 15 feet out by Cam Talbot.
And now fed ahead, here they come again. Vetrano feeds it across the Fasching, trying to center it, knocked down by Marchand, but not out. Hannafin brings it back in, a long shot, pinballs around in front, Talbot's down. The loose puck picked up by Tanev. Nervous moments in the Canadian crease as Tanev lost the puck to Vetrano. Picked up now by Fasching, rink wide pass. Nelson in, shoots in his short side, and Duchesne has it back.
It's 4 chances in the last minute. 4 great chances for the U.S.
6.5 to go here in the third period. The U.S. amps up the pressure as McCabe picks it up. Stolen by Duchesne for a moment. McCabe sends a rink wide pass for Schrader, and icing waved off as Schrader gets there first, tied up by Dumba. Now Foligno in on Riley. And Nick Foligno pokes it free. Now Foligno. Russian crowd urging the Americans on. Conor Murphy, who finished serving that misconduct, back on the ice for the U.S. Played by Matthews in deep.
So
Matthews back with it. At the point, here's Murphy, a long wrist shot. And Talbot has it, with Foligno digging for the rebound. Great chances for Team USA. Canada still leads by 1. 2:48 to go in the third period. Canada with a 4-3 lead. It was 2-0 Canada, 3-2 USA, 4-3 Canada. Earlier today, the Russians took a 1-0 lead on the Finns. Looked like they might blow the doors off in the first 10 minutes of that game, but the Finns came back with 3 unanswered goals and won it 3-1. So the Finns are in the gold medal game tomorrow night. Waiting to see who they'll play. They beat both these teams in the round-robin portion. A 4-0 win over Canada, 3-2 against the United States. Murray banks that back down the ice, and as Shea goes back, it's an icing call against Canada. And some great chances for Team USA, including Frank Vetrano.
Vetrano's going to one-time this shot. It goes back against the grain. It catches Talbot in the heel of the glove, and this is the stop on Jake McCabe. Talbot follows the deflected puck. McCabe's at the goal line, comes out for where the puck is, and he makes the pad stop, and then this bounces off of 2 players, the last being Ryan Ellis, before Talbot is able to get in front of that one too.
Bashing leaves it there for Nelson. Brock Nelson spins back in the corner. Tied up there by Ryan Ellis. The puck is still loose. And Ryan O'Reilly moves away with a rink wide for Stone. Mark Stone flips out ahead to pass in behind Scheib to hit the linesman. And Shea able to play it out for Team USA. Noah Hannafin, poke check there by O'Reilly. The puck in his skates. Vetrano has it. He collides hard with Ellis, who got the worst of that. Stone drops it back for Ryan Murray. Around to Ryan Ellis. Hard to tell what this crowd is cheering for except for hockey. Ball in, shoots. It's on Warsawski, sticking wide. And Weidman picks it up. Held by Hall. Taylor Hall feeds it down. Warsawski took it away from Brassard. Brassard to the open corner for Perry. Corey Perry drops it back for Chris Tanev. Swings it across to Morgan Riley. Pass out of the reach of Taylor Hall. Hall knocks down Weidman. Puck still loose. Brassard pokes it back. Morgan Riley. Tanev moving in. Slaps that around looking for Perry. Brassard back on it. And now Weidman steps in front of Perry. Takes that away. Lifts it high in the air back down to the Canadian zone. And icing waved off as Tanev tried to milk that for all it was worth. Riley up ahead to McDavid. Connor McDavid winds his way in. McDavid heels back in the corner. Throws it back down low. And Matthews has it for Team USA. Larkin chopping at it. And Larkin and Matthews up there together now. Foligno working in. Jake McCabe jumps in. Foligno shoots off the stick of Murray high and wide. Brad Marchand back on it for Canada. Chips ahead to McDavid. Rolls off his stick. McDavid pokes it back for Duchesne. Back to McDavid. Conor McDavid losing the side of the goal. Kicks it around. The puck still loose. He goes barreling into Kincaid. As Kincaid got knocked into the U.S. goal by Conor McDavid.
Everyone will entangle themselves here as McDavid's going to get to the puck outside of Matthews and then drive the front of the net. There's not much room, but he's going to try and squeeze between Matthews and Murphy. And when Murphy hits him, McDavid runs into him and then, for good measure, gives him a little shove towards the back of the net. John Hines had Larkin and Matthews out on that last shift together. You're down to really crunching it now. You're looking for the tying goal. You're looking for 6 forwards, maybe 7 forwards that you're going to rotate around here. This line, Fashion, Nelson, and Vetrano had 2 really good chances on their last shift when they were out there with Jake McCabe, who was robbed as well.
Brady Shea back with it. 3.5 to go in the third period. Shea, the New York Ranger defenseman, steps around Stone, barrels in across the line. Brady Shea now spins back in the corner, tied up by Ceci. The puck still loose in the corner. Shea picks it out. And now Fasching tried to play it back. Stone picked it off. Mark Stone throws that down to the U.S. zone. Ryan O'Reilly there first, plays it across to Scheifele. Plays back for O'Reilly. Scheifele got knocked down by Nelson. O'Reilly races to it. The puck bounces to the slot and Shea has it back. In comes Shea, fires it down. Talbot gloves that. and drops it down for Ryan Murray.
Now here's Matthews, Larkin, and Foligno again.
The two leading scorers for the U.S. are teenagers, the 18-year-old Matthews, the 19-year-old Larkin. Out there together now. Shots are 11-2 U.S. here in the third period. Ellis pokes it ahead for Brassard. Perry tries to knock it down, brought back in by Foligno, drops it off for Larkin. In comes Larkin, a centering pass, and Murray knocked that away. Now Murphy centered it. That pass by Matthews knocked to stride. In comes McCabe with a chance. Centers it. Matthews drops it back. In comes Murphy. Backhand shot towards the goal. A chance in front for McCabe, but a crease violation called against Nick Foligno, and the face-off will come outside.
What a move by Conor Murphy. He gets Perry to lie down on the ice. There you see Foligno's in the crease. McCabe's shot was stopped anyway by Talbot. It's two great chances for McCabe. He's gonna watch Foligno into the crease. Not a popular decision by the official, but it's a pretty black and white rule. There's McCabe, who's had a terrific game. In the third period, in the last couple of minutes, had two great chances turned aside.
Canada's had one shot in the last 16 plus minutes.
U.S. is carried here the last 6 or 7 minutes of this play for sure.
Here they come again. Larkin sends it in. Under 2 to go here in the third period. Larkin centers it. No move yet from Kincaid in the American goal. McDavid brings it in with Marchand and Duchesne. Connor McDavid brings it around. Larkin takes it away, backhands it back up to center ice where Morgan Riley knocks it down. Tanev picks it up, waits and fires it back down as Canada makes a change. The Scheifele line comes back on. It's Scheifele with Stone and Ryan O'Reilly for Canada. As Brock Nelson's out there for Team USA, picked off by O'Reilly. Throws it back down to the U.S. zone at the line. O'Reilly trying to bring it ahead. And now Scheifele goes in on Hannafin. Picked up by Wideman. Now Kincaid drifting towards the U.S. bench. The rink wide pass picked off, and Kincaid has to retreat. Lead pass for Stone. Works in. Stone shoots. Kincaid to save. Rebound. Put wide by Scheifele. Stone back on it. A minute to go now in the third period. Nelson kicking it. Scheifele works it down low. Stone comes in. Maroon picks it up. Goes rink wide for Hannafin. Up ahead to Vetrano, flips it down. Talbot, the bouncing puck, gloves that and hangs on. As Kincaid had gone to the U.S. bench, the extra skater came on. It was Austin Matthews. And we got 43.6 seconds to go. And we got a timeout call by Team USA.
Kincaid's gonna start out of the net. The pass is intercepted by O'Reilly. He finds Stone. Kincaid, a really good save here. And then Scheifele's rebound is cued wide. So the face-off to the left of Cam Talbot. You know the U.S. will have Matthews and Larkin, likely Foligno on the ice. I would think 5 forwards and Chris Wideman will be the attack for the U.S. Cam Talbot has been extremely busy here in the third period. He's made 30 stops overall. These last couple in the last 5 minutes have been remarkable. The one sequence where he stopped 4 or 5 really tight shots in a row. He has been sharp. He's run the table as Canada's starting goaltender with only one real bobble. That 4-0 loss to the Finns. He came back and was terrific in the quarterfinal win. A 21 save shutout. So Canada's going to go with Ryan O'Reilly, not surprisingly, taking 1,812 face-offs this year for the Buffalo Sabres. He'll go against Brock Nelson.
Maroon out there as well. The U.S. net is empty.
5 forwards for the U.S. and Chris Wideman.
O'Reilly against Nelson for the face-off with 43 seconds remaining in the third period.
Remember, Maroon and Foligno have had trouble with the crease. They've been in it a lot. They've been whistled. They'll try and get the puck and get one of them to the front. There goes Maroon.
And Foligno kicks the puck out of the corner. Foligno trying to play it back, picked off by Tanev to O'Reilly, lifts it off the boards and past Matthews. Austin Matthews back for it, being watched by Duchesne, and Matthews had to knock that away. Now Wideman swings back with Duchesne bearing in on him. Austin Matthews, lead pass for Patrick Maroon, rings it around. 20 seconds to go here in the third period. Foligno had it poke check. Plays it back there for Larkin. Matthews standing in front. Centering pass knocked away. Riley can't clear it out. Foligno to stick it to by O'Reilly. Larkin plays it around for Maroon. Under 10 seconds to go here in the third period. Maroon plays it down. Foligno's loose behind the goal. Riley ties him up. Centering pass knocked away. Maroon centers it. Knocked down by Tanev. Final seconds now. Canada wins it. 4-3 the final score. And Canada will play Finland for gold tomorrow night at the 2016 World Hockey Championship here in Moscow. Team USA will play for bronze against the Russians tomorrow afternoon, but Canada will get a chance to defend its title tomorrow night against the undefeated Finns, who beat them 4-0 in the round robin.
For the second year in a row, the U.S. will play the host country for the bronze medal. Yet last year they beat the Czechs for the bronze. This year, a gallant effort. What a comeback in the second period by the United States, and they pushed the play hard late in the third. They couldn't find the equalizer to Ryan Ellis's bullet that was the game winner. And Canada will look to avenge a 4-0 loss in the last game of the preliminary round to the Finns, who have been perfect, 9-0 so far.
And time now for the player of the game presentations. And then, oh, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we start the best play award ceremony.
Лучшим игрокам каждой команды вручается часы компании Tissot, которая является официальным хронометристом чемпионата мира по хоккею 2016
A perfect run
года.
last year, and now they'll face the one perfect team left in this World Championship.
2016 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship.
Призы вручают.
We'll also get the presentation, I believe, of the top 3 players of the tournament for Team USA.
The prizes will be presented by the director of Tissot Company, Roger
The U.S. gold medal hopes have ended. They had a hard time getting players for this tournament, but the players they got, Larkin, the 19-year-old, Matthews, the 18-year-old, were tremendous.
When it looked like they were up on 2 wheels in the preliminary round, and a disappointing overtime loss to the Germans, an overtime loss to Slovakia, but that helped them qualify. They played a terrific quarterfinal win, the shootout over the #1 ranked Czechs, and ever so close here against Canada.
Dylan Larkin, the player of the game for Team USA.
Назван Райан Эллис, номер 6.
And Ryan Ellis, who scored the winner for Canada,
Number 6
is the player of the game.
Дамы и господа, мы начинаем церемонию награждения 3 лучших игроков турнира в каждой команде.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 3 best players of the tournament award ceremony.
Now the top 3 American players of the tournament.
Награждаются призами от Крушовицы, официального
Austin Matthews and Larkin will be part of this conversation.
2016 года.
And the awards of 3
suspect
best
either
players
Chris
of the
Weidman or
tournament
Conor
of both
Murphy.
teams will be presented by Krushovice.
The U.S. will have a chance to win a 3rd bronze medal in 4 years.
Награду 3 лучшим игрокам вручает директор компании Heineken Россия господин Эд Ван Виллеген.
And the 3 best players award will be presented by director Heineken Russia, Ed Van Villegen.
Лучшими игроками в составе сборной команды Соединенных Штатов Америки названы Jake McCabe, номер 29.
Jake McCabe, who was shaken up in the very first game against Canada, hurt his shoulder in the first period, missed a couple of games.
And the best players in Team USA,
But
number
played terrific for them.
29, Jake McCabe. Number 34, Austin Matthews. And number 5,
So
Conor
McCabe,
Murphy.
Murphy, and Matthews are the top 3 players for the U.S. No Dylan Larkin there. Murphy did score goals in 3 consecutive games for the U.S. We've got a lot of production from their back end.
Next up for Austin Matthews is the top of the NHL draft.
Лучшими игроками в составе сборной команды Канады
A
названы
disappointing
Конор
loss for the U.S.
Макдэвид,
They
номер
played their hearts out,
97,
down 2-0. They could have folded the tent, but they came back with 3 goals in 7 minutes
и
in
Морган
the second
Рейли,
period.
номер 44.
Best players Team Canada, number
Now the top 3 players for
97,
Canada.
Conor Murphy, number 63, Brad Marchand, and number 44, Morgan Rayleigh.
Connor McDavid, Brad Marchand, Morgan Riley named for Canada.
Marchand scored a beauty today. McDavid's got 8 assists in the tournament. Morgan Riley, Canada's ice time leader.
Внимание, дорогие друзья! В честь команды победительницы звучит государственный гимн Канады.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of the winning team, please rise for the national anthem of Canada.
Дорогие друзья, на сегодня программа игрового дня исчерпана. Завтра в 16 часов 15 минут на лед выйдут команды России и Соединенных Штатов Америки и сыграют за 3-е место. А в 20 часов 45 минут начнется финальный матч 80-го чемпионата мира по хоккею с шайбой, в котором встретятся сборные команды Финляндии и Канады.
Dear friends, thank you very much for attendance tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. And just a reminder, the World Championship will be over tomorrow at 4:15. We start the bronze medal game with the teams Russia against USA. And at 20:45, we'll start the gold medal game where we'll see the teams Finland and Canada. Thank you very much for attendance tonight and see you tomorrow.
Дорогие друзья, мы благодарим вас за
Okay.
Okay.
Are we squared up all right?
Yeah, I think we are. Are we good here?
Buck, what do you think? Are we all squared up okay?
Thank you. Shots in the third were, he made 11 saves in the third.
Yeah, that's okay. Let me check one thing here for Ellis. What did he do today? No, that ball's down there. 20 minutes and 22 seconds.
Yeah.
Ryan Murray, 23 minutes. Ooh, you guys got clipped a little bit iced up.
Yeah. Better save that.
So I should have taken one.
Here.
Well, you know, you need one too.
No, it's okay.
What are you going to do
pick
with
up the
it?
internet. Here.
Off that intranet?
I'll pick up the interweb.
I like it you say the interweb. I like that. Yep.
Yeah. The final score reads 4-3 in favor of Canada. Cam Talbot stands on his head almost literally in the third period.
Canada had one shot after Ryan Ellis scored what turned out to be the game-winning goal. Much of the play was in the back 100 feet of ice, most of it in the back 60 feet in front of Cam Talbot. He made several great saves in the third period. I think of the stop he made on Frank Vetrano, the glove stop. Later in that shift, a remarkable pad save on a deflected puck for Jake McCabe. Talbot was sharp. He didn't leave many rebounds, and this is a goaltender who said in the last preliminary round game against the Finns, he played his worst game since being a pro. He's responded with 2 excellent games. I was very impressed with him.
Canada held 2 open roster spots late in the tournament, filled one with Ryan Ellis. It turned out to be a great decision.
Well, when you add somebody, you've had a chance to pick through your team and see where the weaknesses are, where the strengths are. Canada's power play was really lacking a quarterback, a power play shooter. So they went to Ryan Ellis from the Nashville Predators. 10 goals in the regular season. He played over 20 minutes. A really solid performance, but it was his shot, a bullet off the Ryan Murray pass that became the game winner. You want to add somebody that makes an impact. Ellis did tonight.
So Canada now faces the Finns in the gold medal game. The Finns are undefeated and took Canada out 4-0 in the preliminary round. Or whatever that was.
And introducing Hockey Cards. Your face, your team, your card. Chill with hockey fans across the world. From any smart device in your own language. The 2016 IIHF app, powered by Skoda. Skoda. Simply clever. Pirelli.
Новая шина Pirelli IIHF с уникальной технологией двойного шипа Dual Stat. Отличное сцепление и торможение на льду. Зимние шины Pirelli. Будь готов к русской зиме. Pirelli. IIHF.
Всего самого доброго и до завтра.